Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're going to be going through the patch notes for the latest build that just came out for Phasmophobia. It's got a long list of stuff that we're going to be tackling, so we're going to go through all of these patch notes, discuss what those changes might mean for us going forward, and then later on tonight we are going to be testing as much of that, so we're going to be doing a bunch of upcoming videos that'll be testing the new patch and probably getting me murdered a lot along the way, but, you know, for science, we have to do these things. So let's get right into these patch notes and see what we've got going on. And it looks like, if I just scroll through this briefly, yeah, we got 3 patches came out yesterday. And we were in the middle of streaming World of Warcraft yesterday. I knew it was coming out, but we were still, you know, sticking with our Burning Crusade, so we didn't actually get to do it on patch day. We're a day behind, but let's get into these now. So first up, this is version 0.29. We've got a list of 13 fixes, some changes, and then some new items. So first up under fixes, we've got improve the performance and load times on most house maps. Nice, can't argue with that. Potential fix for player voices sometimes going high pitch. I haven't run into that, but I'd say, you know, I play with women. It's not any higher pitched than what their voices already would be. It's not like it's making them sound like they're on helium. So I haven't encountered that. But if that's been a problem for people, that's good to see that that's taken care of. High School fixed a bug where sound sensors showed the wrong corridor names. Alright. I haven't spent a lot of time in high school, and especially I don't really use the sound sensor, so I guess if people do that, then that's definitely a good thing to have, because you don't really want to have the wrong corridor names listed out. Otherwise, you can get confused as to where that sound is being picked up. Let's see. Potential bug fix for a rare bug where the ghost moves in the first 5 seconds of the hunt. Okay, so in the last difficulty patch, it was adjusted so that the ghost stands still for the first 5 seconds before it actually can hunt. So evidently that was a problem on rare occasion where the ghost would move around during those first 5 seconds. Now, I've seen it walk in place, but I've never seen it actually go anywhere during those 5 seconds. So I don't know. He must be talking about actually moving around. Otherwise, who would care? So I haven't encountered that, but that would definitely be an obnoxious thing, because that was one of the really nice things about having it stay put for 5 seconds, is that it can't happen to wander and follow you, so you get that opportunity to get away. That was a nice quality of life fix when it first came out, so it's nice to see he's making sure that's working right. Fixed a bug where equipment didn't teleport back to the truck if they fell out of bounds. So I know that there was a bug at least a while back in Tanglewood where if you threw something on the floor in the basement in the right spot, it would actually just cause it to fall into the void. And I guess this might be part of that, is if you manage to launch something out of bounds, it's supposed to go back to the truck so that you're not losing it forever. You can go back and get it again. It's not just gone. So good to see that's something tackled. Potential fix for the current ghost room sometimes being set to the wrong room, which was breaking evidence such as temperature. Now, I ran into this a while back where I was getting freezing, and that was it. It was temps. So I was actually getting freezing temps in the living room, but all of the other evidence was happening in the basement. So I had ruled out freezing temps because I was just tearing through the living room on my way in and out of the house, and I hadn't noticed that I was getting that, you know, frosty breath along the way. So seeing that, where it's actually syncing up in 2 rooms, not only 2 next to each other rooms, which is annoying when that happens, but that does happen, but being on 2 separate floors, that really shouldn't have been an issue. So good to see that's being tackled. That's not something I can really test for, though, other than just hopefully I never encounter it again, but that drove me up the wall when it happened. Fixed a bug where new players would have their volumes set to the old players' volumes. Okay, so I think what that's doing is, rather than assigning a volume to the player itself, I think it was assigning the volume to the slot. So if somebody came and left and you had a different player in that slot, instead of having the volume change out, it would wind up you know, keeping it down if you had it turned down for somebody, but then you get somebody new and you need to turn it back up. So that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Fixed a bug where the ghost couldn't kill you in some closets. Now, this one I've not experienced, but I have seen some videos of where there's a couple of hallway closets that you could get to the back of and hide in one of the corners, and you could leave the doors wide open and the ghost just couldn't get to you. I've never tested that because I'm not big on safe spots, which goes right along with the next one here. Fix several safe spots, so that's kind of the same thing. You know, if you've got safe spots, you're kind of cheesing the game. You got to be able to follow the rules. So if you've got a spot where you can hide out, where nothing can happen to you even when you're talking and breaking all the rules, anything that should be getting you killed and isn't, that needs to be fixed. So I'm glad that's been addressed. Number 10, fixed a bug where players would still show in the audio options after they have left. All right, yeah, that's an issue. Not an issue for me because generally, you know, I've got people playing with me the whole time, so when they leave, I'm done for the night anyway. I haven't done a whole lot of random lobbies, so that hasn't been an issue for me, but I could see that being terribly obnoxious. Fixed a bug where the resolution would sometimes be set very low when launching for the first time. Now, I did encounter this on, not on my machine, but one of my kids' machines when I was setting them up. And you're running, you know, 720, 1080p, whatever it is, and you're winding up getting that 480p or worse, something like that, just absolute terrible. And it's all over the place. It absolutely is impossible to get that set right initially, and it's obnoxious. So I'm glad that that's taken care of. Fixed a bug where sensors could be placed on walls behind other objects. I assume that really means motion sensors, which would essentially stop them from functioning, because a sound sensor should still work, because that punches through walls. It has an area, and it listens to that area no matter what it is, as far as I know. So that's got to be talking about infrared light sensors and motion sensors, I would assume. And I guess what that is you shouldn't be able to place it there in the first place. I think that's what he's locking out. Not that it won't work, it's just that you can't place it there. Now this one's bolded. Fixed a bug where the ghost was never wandering out of its room. I've never been so, I don't know if you'd call that lucky or unlucky, but I've never had that happen. In fact, the only thing I've seen close to that, as far as in anyone else's streams or videos, I have seen in Asylum, I think, where the ghost would get stuck in the walls, but that was fixed in a previous patch, supposedly. So, I've never seen an issue where it's just staying in its room and wandering around in there. Oh, wait, you know what? It doesn't say during a hunt. So, maybe we're talking never wandering at all during out-of-hunt phases. I'm trying to think if I encountered that at any point. So, the ghost not wandering where you wouldn't experience it anywhere else in the house. I want to say potentially with the with my most hated Barbara video, that passive-aggressive ghost. She pretty much stayed in the hallway, but I do remember at one point she did wander far enough to get into a bathroom somewhere and turn on the water, so maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if that counts or not. Because being a hallway ghost, they do kind of tend to pick a room where they'll kind of occupy, so that might have been part of that. But I don't think I've really encountered much issue where the ghost never, ever leaves its room to just wander in general. Okay, next up. Changes. Here's some of the meat and potatoes. This is what we're really looking for, is the changes and the new. Updated to the latest Photon release, which will bring network optimizations and fixes. It sounds like that's good, but that doesn't really mean anything specifically to me, but yay, optimizations and fixes, so I guess good for that. The smudge stick smoking time has been reduced from 15 seconds to 6. Oh, no. To match the ghost delay during a hunt. Oof. Okay. Now, I'm wondering if that's just when it applies to the ghost. So if I light it, do I get 15 seconds? Or once the ghost is affected by it, it only will continue to smoke for 6 more seconds. So once it goes out, you could light a second smudge stick and be okay. Because there would be an issue before where if you lit it, it burns and burns and burns, and the ghost is only affected for 6 seconds. So then the ghost can come back to you. That smudge stick won't work on it again, I don't think. So you'd have to throw it away and know to light a new one. But if you lit it prematurely, the effect won't stack either. So if there's 5 seconds that ghost has been affected and you light a second one and try to affect it again, that second smudge stick is worthless. It wouldn't affect it at all. And I believe this is probably to help you understand that. But we will have to definitely light some smudge sticks and see how long they burn and test that. So let me make a note. We're going to test the smudge stick time. Test smudge time. Okay. So we'll definitely have to play around with that. The ghost will now walk to the front of a closet or locker if it sees or hears you inside rather than just walking past. Now, I didn't know that it would walk past in the first place. I don't know what that means, walks to the front. It walks to the front and tries to open the doors because it knew you went in there, because it already did that too. So what I'm wondering is, will it try to inspect that locker more closely as opposed to giving up after an initial try? I don't know. I don't know what that's going to mean exactly. If it hears or sees you inside, rather than walk... Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. So, I know that if it cracks the locker... Let's forget the locker, stick with closet. So, if it cracks one of the closet doors open, it'll kind of serpentine back and forth, and it could walk by, because it's trying to home in on your line of sight. But that would be walking past. So if it's just going to go straight to the door instead of passing it, and it catches and then it turns back and it passes it and it turns back and it passes it, and it keeps going back and forth trying to catch that moment where it gets that line of sight. If instead it just beelines straight to the locker, if you don't have that locker or the closet shut quickly, it's going to maintain that line of sight and be able to kill you. So that actually increases the difficulty, because if it passes by and happens to randomly open that locker, you've got to be even quicker to get it shut, because instead of having it pace back and forth and, you know, yank on the doors a few times until it, you know, doesn't get line of sight for a few seconds and it can't try it anymore, it could just straight go for the kill by walking straight at that line of sight immediately and investigating you hard enough that it could get you. So... okay, so we're going to want to do testing. I think really the testing would be more in closets, where if the door gets flipped open, how long... so you're holding one of the one of the closet doors, and the other door gets kicked open. How long can you leave that open and still be alive? So I want to do some closet testing there. Closet door test. Okay. So that'll be something we got to try out. If you fall out of the map or go out of bounds, you now be teleported to the last place you were instead of back to the truck. So, I think there was a way that people were kind of cheesing it, where if you got trapped in the house during a hunt, if you knew how to glitch through the wall or get stuck and basically just become out of bounds, it would take you back to the truck. Well, that gets you out of the house. Way to cheat. This is going to just pop you right back into wherever you were before you glitched through. So you're going to be stuck in there. There's no running away. You're going to have to properly hide or bite it. I like that. I like that. Okay, the high school top and bottom floor corridors have now been split into 3 sections each. This will make evidence more accurate to where the ghost is. I've not spent enough time in high school to even get a hallway ghost. But I definitely understand how terrible having a hallway ghost in the high school is. I've seen enough of it. So that's definitely a nice boost. Man, what a headache. When it's the whole freaking corridor, it could be anywhere. Okay. Next up, the truck has been moved closer to the entrance on prison. Thank you. Oh, that is just obnoxious to have that walk. We'll have to test that. I just want to see how much closer. So, truck to prison. We want to see how close that is. Plus, that gives me a reason to walk my team into the prison, which I know they're not going to like, so that'll be fun. Kicked players will now be automatically kicked when they rejoin. Fair enough. I like it. Once you're kicked, you should stay kicked. Nobody wants you here. Although, I actually wonder how that works long term. Will it remember that you've kicked that player later on? Like if I wind up kicking one of my kids out, or if one of them is the one running the server and they kick me out and they think they're being funny, am I ever going to be able to get back in? I don't know. Maybe you just have to create a new, you know, you have to leave and create new. I don't know. We'll have to actually kind of test that out. So kicking players. Kick players and new, I don't know what it's called. Is it a server? New something. Just create private. I guess that's a server. New lobby. So we'll have to try that out. Where were we? Where were we? We were here. So the ghost now has a small chance to wander far from its room. Alright. So with that, and it's a small chance, so I don't know how small is a small chance. I mean, you could consider 49% to be a small chance, or 1 in a million to be a small chance, so take it for what it's worth. But usually ghosts don't wander terribly far, so that can help you dial in. But if it can wander very far, you could end up on the wrong floor at the wrong end of the asylum and think that you're close, and then go crazy trying to sort that out. Alright. Slightly increase the demon's chance to hunt. They already chain hunt like sons of bitches. Hunt more. Why not? Thanks, guy. That one's going to be fun. Especially since the number of times I wind up with a demon when it's the Wraithmare Demon classic combo. Oh well. Slightly increased chance. I don't know how slightly, but they already hunted enough for my liking. So that'll be a fun one to run into more often. Okay, so the new items. Added a new ghost type. So this is 2, actually. We've got 2 new ghost types. And no information is given about them here. But we've got the yokai and the hantu. I know that there's information on these guys in the Trello. And I know they have to do with hunting or attacking more in hot versus cold. And one of them has to do with more of your voice. The specifics of it, though, I'm not 100%, so we'll see what it looks like when we get into the game. But 2 new ghost types, so more things to keep track of, right? That'll add to the challenge. Speaking of which, added a new daily challenge. Capture a 3-star ghost photo. Okay. And capture a dirty water photo as a daily challenge. That's kind of obnoxious, the dirty water one, but I guess it gives you a reason to look for a dirty water photo at some point when you're playing. It keeps it some kind of relevant. And I guess it's better being a daily challenge than it was as an objective that you had to do within a round, because then your odds of catching that reliably were terrible. You know, unless that thing's a bathroom ghost or very bathroom adjacent, you weren't getting a dirty water photo. Added a way to reset corrupt save files. This is a very rare occurrence. If you get this, please join our Discord and ask for help. Okay. A good-to-know item, I suppose, but nothing that affects the gameplay as far as I'm concerned. Added a bad word and profanity filter for usernames and room names. Please report if your name is not offensive and this is being caught by this. Okay, so something to just be aware of, but doesn't affect my day-to-day. Because, again, I generally play private. I'm not playing on public lobbies. Added a sell button in the item store that will give you back 50% of the price. Okay. Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm sure at some point or another everybody's screwed up and rapid fire clicked on something. Actually, you know where this would wind up being a good idea is for people like me that have an auto clicker and you've got that thing activated and then you hit the sell button, not realizing it because you just went through and added a bunch of stuff so your auto clicker is still firing and you forgot to turn it off. At least then you can recoup some of your money for being a dummy. I can see the value to that. Added text to show the name of the level below the map in the truck. Okay, I like that. I like that. So the map in the truck will now actually list what street you're on. That's not mind-blowing or anything, but I guess that's just nice to have. Nice for screenshots and whatnot, if you forget what map you did. Added a confirmation timer if you change your resolution. Oh, okay, I like this. I like this. So if you mess up and click the wrong damn thing and it totally screws you up, just ride it out and it'll revert you back. So that's good. And here's the big one. Here's the big one. Added a new small house map called Willow Street House. Okay, I like the name. This map... Oh, God. This map has no closets or lockers to hide inside and has been designed... Oh, I can't even get the sentence out. Has been designed around hiding behind furniture. Fuck me. Seriously? Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Mama Bear and Ducky Fawn will not be happy with this. Not be happy at all. That is outstanding. Which means we need to get in there like right away and recon the whole map first. And find out where are the places to hide. Because I don't want to be coming up with that on the fly while I'm being chased. Oh, oh, dick move, man. I like it. I like it. Look around. I don't think any of them are around. So hopefully, none of them have any idea about this. And I don't see any of them in the stream. So if they're not around, they might not have heard me. I'm hoping that I can just sort of spring this on them. Oh, and a side note here. New ghost types will have a 3x higher spawn rate during the beta to allow for testing. Okay, so we're going to end up getting more yokai and hantu as a general rule, just so that we can find out more about them quicker. I like it. I like it. That's a nice little feature there. I don't know if that's going to be all the way through beta till this makes it into general release, or just for the next, you know, few days or weeks or whatever, until another major beta patch comes out. I don't know how quickly he's trying to push this into being general. So that's interesting. We're going to get that extra spawn rate. Okay, so that takes care of that patch, and then later on we got the 0.29.1 patch that came out. And looks like just some fixes, a couple changes, so let's just read through this pretty quickly. Fixed a bug where you couldn't navigate through the new ghost pages in the journal using a controller. Not my problem, but okay. Willow, so the new map. Fixed a bug where you could get stuck in the bathroom next to the toilet. Oh no, getting stuck on the John is the worst. Well, I'm glad that's not going to be an issue. Willow again, fixed a bug where you could walk past the bushes on the right of the house and teleport back to the truck. You know, as I read that, that makes me think of, what was it? It's in Among Us, one of the Skeld.net things, the vent teleporter. If you did that one on the Polis map and somebody sets off the reactor, you'd have to try to run past this one vent, and you could never get by it because every time you go and touch that vent, it would teleport you somewhere else randomly in the map. And so the imposter could just cheese it by killing everyone, setting off the reactor, and then nobody could ever get through to shut off the reactor. So that's just what that made me think of, is, you know, you're trying to walk back in, you've got your gear, and all of a sudden you walk past some bush, and bloop, you're back in the truck. How the hell did I get here? How many times do you do that before you realize it's the bush's fault? Okay, moving on. Willow fixed a bug where you could walk through the garage door when you were dead. So, like, walk through the door and leave, I assume? Well, I guess pass in and out. So that's basically just allowing you to walk through a wall. Yeah, that would be an issue. Okay. Although, I mean, when you're dead, who cares? You should be able to pass through walls when you're dead, honestly. Fixed a bug where the map name would show as the previous map when you played... Oh, when training. I don't care about training. Who the hell goes through training? Everyone just dies trial by fire, right? Fixed most names that were being caught by the profanity filter. Okay, good to know. How far apart did these come out? Let's see, 3:50 p.m. versus... So, in 2 hours and 50 minutes, he had enough names being caught that he got most of that fixed and updated. And does this guy ever sleep? I mean, that's just crazy. Just cranking away, cranking away. Okay. So whatever he got over that almost 3 hour period, he got those names updated. Good to know. Fixed several translation errors. All right. Changes. Willow flipped the bathroom door. Fixed several issues. Okay. Well, since I never saw it in the first place, I won't notice a difference. And slightly reduced the night vision brightness. Okay. Yeah. I do appreciate that, because once night vision is cranked up too high, especially when it's in a small room like a bathroom, you can't see orbs, even with the night vision on. It's just reflected back at you. You might as well have the lights on. It's that bright. Okay, and then, so that was at 3:50 p.m., so here we are at close to 7, so almost 4 to almost 7. So 3 hours later, he gets another one out. Good God, this guy's a machine. Server version is 0.29.2, which is what I am currently running, so this is the latest version. Some more fixes. Willow fixed a bug where you could walk... Wait a minute. So I guess he didn't fix it the first time? Yeah, must not have got it to fix the first time. Alright, so continuation on that fix. Hopefully that's a deal. So we're going to want to test that. I assume since there was no further patch, but we're going to test that. Bushes on the left side. Oh, wait a minute. Were they on the left side before? Let's see. Bushes on the right side. Oh, okay. So, right side of the house the first time, left side of the house. So, we're going to check that out. Bushes. We'll check both sides. Teleport. Just to make sure. I'm sure at this point they got to be fixed. Otherwise, we'd see that being revised, you know, by 10 o'clock that night. Fixed a bug where the ceiling fan wouldn't spin. I love the little immersion details. You know, you turn on the light and the ceiling fan kicks on. But I wouldn't have thought anything of it for it not spinning, other than, I guess, how do you make it spin? But okay, cool, cool. Willow fixed some out-of-bounds spots where you could throw items and they wouldn't teleport back. Well, that would suck. So, yep, good, 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 good. Willow again fixed a bug where Behaptics... Is it Behaptics or Behaptics? Like, how do you say that? I don't even know. I guess I don't care. Fixed a bug where Behaptics were not working. Okay. I can't see myself ever getting a haptic suit, so that's not really going to be a concern to me. I say that now, and, you know, in a few years, I'm sure I'll have one and be like, what was I thinking? I have to have one of these to ever enjoy a video game. Durr. Bleasdale fixed the safe spot behind the toilet. Good. No hiding behind the crapper for you. Although, I guess there's a difference between just being able to hide and it being a safe spot where you can talk and stand there and it just can't get you. So, maybe you could still hide. I don't know. But I didn't know that was a safe spot anyway. Generally, it's not a place I go and bail to as a bathroom. And, oh, we got a change. You can no longer sell items. Wait, now we can't sell them? No longer sell items when in a server due to a bug where you could sell items that you had added to the equipment list. Oh, okay. A different fix for this will be worked out on a future update. So I guess what would happen then is you could add your items to the list and then sell that item so that you don't have it anymore, get your money out of it, but at least then it's posted into the game, so it's there to play with. And if you die, you're only losing items you don't have. You got half your money back. You have your money back, so you would have to suck long term and know you're going to die every time in order to be able to take any real advantage of that. Otherwise, you're just throwing your stuff away at half price every time. Yeah. I mean, sure, fix it. But who the hell figured that out as a way to get around the system? That's terrible. You shouldn't be dying that often. Look, I don't know. Maybe people do die that often. But, okay, so that is going to wrap it up for our review of the patch notes. Where the hell are we? Okay, got my buttons going. So, that's going to wrap up our review of the patch notes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. If you want to join in on the chat, check me out over on twitch.tv/Eremos_TTV. I'm playing different games throughout the week, and I'm not going to try to remember what they are. So if you check out my schedule on the Twitch page, you can see what it is I'm streaming on any given night. I do at least 3 nights a week of World of Warcraft. We're doing Burning Crusade Classic. And then the other nights, it is Phasmophobia, War Thunder, Among Us. It kind of varies depending on the day and depending on, you know, who's around and who's going to join me. So check me out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.